those names were constantly being talked about. Yourself, not so much, I would say, in terms of like the hype train in the lead up to the show. And then the show happens, and then there you are, like toe to toe with Chris, like the first guy I would say that's really pushed him on this like run that he's had. You're kind of the first guy that's really, really pushed him, because a lot of people were saying, you know, you had him on certain things there. How does that moment feel to be that close to, let's just call him the king of classic for now?
What is going on, people? Jumping in on this podcast to let you know about our incredible sponsors, Trained by JP, aka TBJP, the one-stop shop for all your bodybuilding needs. Whether you're looking for supplements or clothing, they have it all. Quite possibly the biggest range of subs you will find anywhere in the world, end of. Whether you're looking for pre-workouts, stim-free or high-stim, intra-workout shakes, post-workout cream of rices, vegan supplements, it is all there for you, as well as the highest grade of health subs that you will need in your arsenal. Check them out. It's www.tb-jp.com, and on there you will also find all the clothing which they release multiple times per year, but get your hands on them quick because they are limited drops. Use the discount code MAGIC10 for money off. Help the brother out, and let's get back to the podcast. Peace.
Right, guys, welcome back to the Beautiful Struggle podcast with myself, Jay Davis, aka Magic I appreciate all the love on the last couple of episodes and uploads on the channel. Views are going great, and we will continue to bring some of the biggest names in bodybuilding on here. And my next guest is one of those names which has he's been there in the background, kind of lurking, and about 11 or 10 days ago, he shook the whole classic division up. And it's safe to say, I guess, he's the next in line. So without further ado, I just want to get into this one. I'm excited for it. Introducing Mike Sommerfeld, aka Mike the Badass, to the Beautiful Struggle podcast. Welcome, brother.
Thank you so much for having me. It's going to be exciting.
Right, I appreciate your time, because as we were speaking off air, you're a little bit busy at the minute, traveling all around the globe. We've been trying to get on the same time zones. I know you were in Florida at one point, and so what's been going on post Olympia? You're just traveling everywhere.
Yeah, we decided to go to Florida, like right after the Olympia, to meet friends, Rachel and Nico. Rachel, she's a IFBB Olympian women's physique competitor also. So we're like, she's basically me as a female. Okay. She's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we spent some time there, and that was pretty important, just to have someone who did not participate throughout all the Olympia stuff would happen. So I was able to talk to them and like just speak from my soul and from like off my shoulders.
Yeah,
that was great. We had a very good time in Florida. Now we're back in Germany, where I'm born and raised, for a week to meet my family, friends, fans. We have different celebrations going on. Like yesterday was very emotional.
Yeah,
I've been to the gym where I started training when I was 14, so like 16 years ago.
Yeah,
and all the people came together. They brought cake and coffee, and like we were sitting in the gym and we talked about the past and the future and everything. Like it was really amazing. And now there's another big event on Saturday in Germany, the biggest German show.
Right.
Dennis James Classic.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So I'm going to be there to meet the guys, the friends, the followers, spend time with them like the whole day. I'm just there for them.
Yeah.
And the day after, we're going to do the Olympia post party thing. And I just finished cutting my post Olympia movie. So it's like 90 minutes, all the background stuff, and nobody has seen so far. Yeah, it's very emotional. It's really intense now. And then we're hopping over to Poland, doing 4 seminars, hopping over to Mexico for another 3 seminars, to Dubai for a week, then going to Chicago for guest posing, and Christmas and New Year's in Vegas. And then we're gonna go back to Spain. That's a schedule until January.
Until January, which that's a lot to fit in between now and January. So
yeah, bro, I'm sorry for the mess and the time, time difference and time zones.
No need to apologize at all, man. I'm grateful to get you on here. Like we said offline. So obviously with Magic Eye, my business with filming, I remember filming you throughout. Well, it wasn't your early days, but just before you turned pro, when you were coming to the UK, competing with two bros, and I remember you stood out. Obviously, your physique stood out, and the name as well. So when I've been following along the journey and seeing the name kind of going up the ranks, it was very cool. It was very cool. It's been a wild ride. So 16 years, you said you've been like training now, yeah?
No, actually longer, but I was not allowed to see a gym from the inside. I started working out when I was 11.
Oh, okay.
At home with old daddy's dumbbells.
Yeah.
Funny, one had 6 kilos, one had 8. So I needed to switch my arms to make sure they don't grow differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first time I've seen a gym from the inside was when I turned 14.
Right.
And it was not allowed to train in a gym. But these guys, they said, okay, we can feel his passion, and his dad is with him, so he's not in danger. It's gonna be fine. As long as he trains with his dad, he can come and train.
Yeah.
And that's what I did until today, 16 years later.
16 years later. So is your dad kind of the influence to get you into bodybuilding then?
Yes, he competed with Dennis James like 30 years ago already.
Wow. Okay.
He never turned pro and he never had the chance to compete at the Olympia, but now I can create all that for him with him.
That's cool,
amazing.
Man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He's living his kind of maybe dreams of his younger self through his son, which is, it's probably even better for him in a way.
Because he doesn't need to do the diet. I have to do it. And he can just be there.
Exactly. And obviously you're his son as well. So it's kind of like we already have, live in awe of our kids. So for when our children or our child is doing what we were going to do, but obviously to the next level, and with what's just happened this year as well, the elite level, that's got to be good for him, man. Did he go over to the Olympia? Was he there when the show went on and everything?
He has to. He's at every Olympia.
Silly question.
Yeah, he sits on a plane. He flies there 14 hours, basically the last week before the show, to help motivate and push me, because my dad has a really deep influence. Sometimes he just needs to look at me when I'm like super tired and exhausted, and he looks at me like, "That's it, son. That's all you can give." And I was like, "Okay, okay, all right, let's go."
Turns it up a notch a little bit. Yeah, goes into 6th gear.
He knows when he needs to push the buttons.
Yeah, incredible, man. So when was your first show then? If you started kind of officially training in a gym at 14, what age were you when you first competed?
16, and I won the German nationals back then. Very funny picture, bro. I need to send you a picture. I was looking literally like Justin Bieber with some muscle, like the hair like in my face, and funny.
A slick haircut, yeah. So 16, so that's like only 2 years of obviously being officially in the gym training. So I guess your dad was your mentor then. So did your dad kind of see it at that point that it was like, he's got something?
Yeah, it was really spontaneous, to be honest. Like 6 weeks out from a show, there was a guy, I didn't know him, he was a stranger. He said, "Hey, Mike, do you compete?" I was like, "No, what do you mean?" So I had no idea what competing actually is. I knew that because I bought all the Flex magazines back then. There was no Instagram, by the way, no Facebook, and no, good old times. I knew how it should look like, but I didn't see myself as a competitive bodybuilder. And he said, "Yeah, you might be good. Like, why don't you try?" I was like, "Okay, but how? Like, where is the show? What I have to do? Like, do I need to fill out papers?" Or like, and he said, "Okay, you're gonna be fine. I will take care of it. Just be there whatever day it was, May or something. So I went there. He brought the tanning. He helped me with the tan. He brought me a posing trunk, and my diet was basically cooked, unseasoned chicken breast and yogurt, like a kilo of yogurt and like 500 grams of chicken breast. That's all I had. No salt, no rice, no nothing, no vegetables, nothing. These two ingredients, and I was eating it for like 6 weeks straight. I got in shape. I was training like 4, 5, 6 hours a day because I love to train, and I didn't know if it's right or wrong, whatever. Just I spent all day in the gym.
Yeah.
Trained, did the sauna, did cardio, and I had a pretty good like conditioning and shape, and then I won the show.
Yeah.
But I haven't been drinking water for like 2 days. I fainted on stage, but I still won it. I mean, many mistakes for the first competition, but as soon as you make all the mistakes, you're gonna learn very fast.
Exactly. Yeah. For the first show, though, you cleaned up. You won.
Yes.
There we go.
With all the mistakes you can do.
Yeah, that's a good starting point for you, definitely. So that was like 16 then. So was that like, as soon as you did that, you were like, I'm hooked. This is it.
Yes.
I want to do this. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So did you just continually compete every year after that? Or was there like a period of time where you spent some time away from it, like to grow? Or was it just like compete constantly?
Yeah. I started my job, IKEA.
Yeah. We've got it here.
Yeah, I worked there for 4 years, and I started my apprenticeship when I was like turned 17, 18, something. So I had like very, very little money. To compete, you have to have some money, right?
Yeah.
Supplements, the food, and I was raised in very simple circumstances. So my mom, she had nothing left to give me for like bodybuilding stuff, and my dad neither. So I had to take 1 year off to save all the money I got to compete again when I turned 18.
Right.
And I did the youth class. Like I just turned 18, and you're allowed to compete in youth, like up to 18.
Yeah.
I won the show, the overall, and I competed in juniors, which is until 23. I won the overall as well. A week or 2 weeks after the show, like after the youth show. And that was my first real like high success, because I was able to beat the guy who got second place at the European juniors in Spain back then. Like it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And we both it was literally like 𝘴𝘱𝘰𝘶𝘏𝑗𝑃.
Yeah.
But it was Dennis and me. I don't know his name. Dennis. Yeah, long time ago. 12 years already.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was able to beat him. And then the year after, I competed at the Arnold's Classic Junior in Madrid. And I was the youngest competitor ever hitting the finals, and I made top 3. I was just 19 years old. Yeah, 19. And then I tried it again when I turned 2021. Third place again, Arnold's Classic Junior. And this is literally the biggest event as a junior.
Yeah.
It's like the world championship kind of. And getting third place was a great job. But I was so competitive that I got like, I felt terrible.
Yeah.
My second show, so I won the first one when I was 16. 2 weeks after, I was invited, because I won the German show, invited to compete at the Mr. Universe with 𝘗𝘁𝘗𝘁𝘗𝘁. He competed there too. Yeah, funny. Yeah. And I placed 5th. My first international show ever, just qualified, the youngest competitor ever, placed 5th. And I was so upset that I put my trophy into the trash, and you were not able to talk to me for 2 days. If there's something I hate, it's losing. And I didn't understand that bodybuilding, win and lose, has nothing to do with the trophy. It's all the way to the show.
Yeah.
But I was 16 years old. I didn't understand.
You just wanted that first place.
I wanted the first place, and that's all what I cared about.
Yeah. Well, that just shows the competitive side to you, man. So if you were like, obviously you were like doing very well, even though like you're getting third. It's still decent placings, you know, in these kind of shows that you were doing.
We're talking about, I competed with Blessing. You know Blessing?
Blessing, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we competed together at the show.
Right,
Like
okay.
he took first place. Nicolas Vouillon, you know him? 𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺.
𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺, maybe if I saw it.
He worked with Patrick Tour many years. A
Okay.
smaller guy, super big legs.
Yeah. The
He got
so they were good,
yeah,
really good athletes that you were competing against, of course.
and Wesley Withers.
And
He
Wesley
competed
was in
with
there, yeah.
yeah, many good competitors.
Yeah, yeah. So when was like if you were doing so well in all these shows, was there a point in time where you got to the level where maybe the placings weren't coming as good, or was it always top threes or maybe even top fives? Has it always been the case?
Yes, but one exception. I had one competition doing 212.
Right.
I just turned pro and I wanted to try the 212 class. I don't know, it was Romania, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
12, 11 something as my first pro show in 212. But then obviously I decided to go to classic,
Yeah,
which fits me better.
which is where you belong.
You said that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. I mean, if we just go on to it, then obviously the Olympia has just happened. Seeing some of the content in the lead up to the show, there was a lot of talk about the usual suspects, obviously taking Chris out the conversation, as he's always going to be in the conversation there. We've got like Ramon, we've got 𝘗𝘱𝘱𝘭𝘰𝘵𝘪𝑗𝑒, we've got Wesley, which is a lot of hype was around Wesley this year. Breon, those names were constantly being talked about. Yourself, not so much, I would say, in terms of like the hype train in the lead up to the show. And then the show happens, and then there you are, like toe to toe with Chris. Like the first guy I would say that's really pushed him on this like run that he's had. You're kind of the first guy that's really, really pushed him, because a lot of people were saying, you know, you had him on certain things there. How does that moment feel to be that close to, let's just call him the king of classic for now?
Bro, to be honest, I really try to figure that out, how it feels. And I try to find a word, but there is no word for it. A word, how can I explain that? A word is a word because many people try to explain something with a specific word.
Yeah.
Like red is red. And many
Okay.
people talked about this specific color because it's existing for everyone. So everybody can come together and talk about, okay, this is red. Everybody agrees and everything is like said, okay, red is red, blue is blue.
Yeah.
Now we have a situation where a little 11-year-old boy is so close to reach his goal and just had the biggest moment of his life. All he was ever dreaming of just happened 11 days ago.
Mm.
My dad was literally right when I stepped off stage, he was there. My wife was there. My coach was there. I saw their eyes, how proud they are.
Mm.
And they spent all time with me throughout, you know, the journey. And it's not easy all the time. You have some dark days and sometimes you're really exhausted, and people help you to stay strong. And the moment I came off stage and I saw my wife, my dad, my coach, and this specific moment described in words is really hard to explain, because not many people have the chance to sit together and talk about moments like that.
Yeah.
Imagine you're like so close to hit your lifetime goal. What I say is it feels like a movie. Let's say a Marvel movie. Hulk is fighting Spider-Man. And you can see Spider-Man, he gets stronger and stronger, but obviously Hulk is beating Spider-Man. But after the movie, you were like, man, Spider-Man did really well. Unfortunately, he lost, but Hulk got some bad hits. And you're not talking about Spider-Man, you're talking about you.
Yeah.
And it's still not, it doesn't feel real.
I was going to ask you, has it sunk in yet?
no. And I asked many people, they worked with like high class athletes, and I asked him, how long does it take that you realize what happened? He said, it's not like it's clicking and like, it's like, it's a long journey. It's a long way to like understanding step by step, just because your life is changing at some points.
Yeah.
You can't imagine how many messages, how much love, so many inspirational and motivating messages I get from people I don't know. I've never seen them. And they're like, hey, Mike, you know what? We are proud. Like, good job. I was like, hey, that feels pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. I can imagine, bro. The years then, since turning pro to now, have you seen, like, in terms of social media and the presence and the feedback that you'll get from people that you don't know, has that kind of just grown and grown over the last few years, or has there been like a rapid kind of like increase over the last maybe 2 years or 3 years, would you say?
I mean, the last 10 days were actually crazy. Almost 200,000 new followers.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty mad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm answering every guy personally. I'm literally
Yeah.
since the Olympia, I'm sitting down every night trying to answer everybody personally.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time, but you'd have no idea how much it's like, how fun it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm getting emotional, man. Like, people are
Yeah.
telling me that they had a rough time and they saw my videos and they saw me struggling and they said, okay, you know what? He's not giving up. He's still doing his thing, even if it's hard. Maybe it's not his best day today, but he pushed and pushed and he's not stopping.
Yeah.
He is not stopping. So why should I?
How does that feel?
This power. That's power. This is, if you are able to be a positive influence to someone, and they will come up to you even in person. This is why I want to do all the meet and greets, and I don't charge a cent. Like, I go there, I invite everyone. We're gonna put out the grill, doing barbecue together. We're gonna watch a movie, just because to give back as much as I can. That's why I'm going to different countries and meet people. It's magical. As soon as they shake your hand and they're like, hey, Mike, you know what? Thank you. And I was like, I'm still thinking, you know what? I'm the guy who's eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, lift some heavy weights, same as you do. But I get the thank you. And I was like, we're not different. On paper, we are literally the same. We are in the gym because you want to change something, want to get better, not just physically, mentally, being the best version of yourself for you, for your family, for your friends, for everyone who deserves your best version. But we're on the same page. And people come over and say, Mike, you know what? Thank you. You're an inspiration. Without you, I would have stopped. It was like, bro, really? Thank you, man. Like,
it's quite heavy, isn't it? It's quite heavy to handle, like, I imagine. Anyway, I'm saying this like I know how it feels. I don't know how it feels. So I imagine it's heavy, kind of having the weight of these guys that are looking at you in awe, when it's, I know it's taken, like, what was it, 11 years, or no, 16 years, sorry, since started training, but obviously this attention you're getting is quite rapid, I guess, in terms of like these people now going, you're the guy that they look to for inspiration. And I mean, you've got boots to fill. Obviously, Chris is retired. There's boots to fill there now, and obviously he's set the standard in Classic for being this role model, this icon, this guy that people all look up to. And with what you've said, what you're doing in terms of your plans of putting these events on and meet and greets and doing it for the fans, and just come from seeing your personality coming across in your social media and your YouTube videos, etc., you're going to be a good person to fill that void, in terms of being that guy that people can look up to, definitely. What is your plan there? Is it always going to be, obviously you're still not that guy yet. You've got next year to kind of prove that and earn that.
exactly.
So we know what, like, we know what's there for the taking now, because it is anyone's game now. Obviously, everyone, it's up for grabs. You're the guy that's closest to the money pot, we're gonna call it. But what's that pressure like going into this next year?
For now, I don't feel pressure at all because I know exactly what happens. I can tell you right now who will show up and who will bring their A game. Everyone will chase the title. We're talking about Rough Diesel. He will come, mark my words, hot as hell.
Yeah.
He will be 100%. He will be the guy jaw dropping.
Okay.
We have Ramon, we have Urs, we have Rosé, we have many, 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 many rookies coming up very fast. And I'm not sleeping. I know exactly what I have to do. It's not like, yeah, Mike, you're the next guy in line. No, I will go back to work. I will work day in, day out. This is what I do. This is what I love to do.
Yeah.
And I want all the other athletes coming in as good as possible. It's going to be literally the next year's Olympia will be the most interesting classic Olympia ever.
Oh, easily. It's going to be it's definitely going to be the most exciting year that we've had in it, because there hasn't really been that for some time because of a certain person with a mustache. But I think, but yeah, you're right, mate. It's interesting. It's interesting. You've been coached by Neil Hill for a number of years now, I think.
Yes, sir.
Like
Since 2019.
2019, yeah. So that's 5 years. My maths is right. Neil is obviously from where I'm from because I'm Welsh. So Neil is. I bumped into him last year when I was going over to Romania for the Masters Olympia. So that was the first time I'd seen him for a while. Is it the Y3T protocol still what you kind of follow in terms of your training style and everything? Or is it? Yeah.
Yes, basically Y3T is made out of different muscle fiber types to activate. We call like sarcoplasmatic, myofibrocal, all this come into play in a very specific design protocol. Maybe you know something about it. So we're talking about different rep ranges, different exercises, different rest pause in between, intensity techniques, recovery protocols coming with different intensity techniques, food choices, meal timing. Like he's very, very precise, and he's not the typical research doctor coach. He's the guru. He looks at you 3 seconds later, he can tell you, okay, eat 27.3 grams less of carbs. You're going to be fine tomorrow. He knows exactly. And what I love the most is, maybe you know him quite a bit, he's very, 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 very honest.
Yeah.
He will tell you things you don't want to hear, but this is exactly what you need to hear to develop and especially creating skills you never had before. He will literally push you to a point where you feel uncomfortable, that you can not just hear what he said, you can feel what he said.
Okay.
Even like a day out from the show, he started to tell me, hey, Mike, your posing is not good enough. Make sure you do this, that. He will call you 11:59, 1 minute before 12. Mike, is your meal ready? Yes, coach, it's right in front of me. Okay. 1 minute after, hey, Mike, are you eating? Yes, coach. All right. 1 minute after, hey, Mike, you've done the food? Yes. What about the drink? Did you drink 500 ml as I told you? Yes, coach. All right. He is literally like that. And the closer to a show, the more precise he gets. He puts a lot of pressure off himself to make sure that his athletes bring their absolute best.
Yeah.
He doesn't sleep for 3 days. And he's so exhausted after the show that even if I would have won the show, he would be so exhausted that he might show up, but he will leave like really soon again. And I saw him working for days and nights and nights and nights.
Yeah.
I know what, like, he's intense. He puts everything into his athletes.
Yeah. During your prep, do you ever have like, because I've done a few preps myself, and I know obviously, like you said at the start, it gets hard. You have your dark days and that. So in those moments, is it Neil you call on, or is it your family?
No, it's basically my wife,
Yeah,
my dad, and coach. My wife, she spends literally every second of the day with me. We live a life like, as I met her many, many years ago, I coached her for 2 years during the COVID time. And then two of her shows got canceled 2 years in a row. She was like done dieting. She was ready to compete. And 5 days before the show, they canceled it. After 2 years, she just told me, you know what, Mike, that's not for me. You know what? I'm gonna ask a female coach to do a lifestyle thing. I don't want to compete anymore. I'm tired of dieting and get canceled.
yeah,
I said, okay, fine. I mean, that's fair. I truly understand. It's very depressing.
yeah.
So
Imagine.
she worked with a female coach, but I knew she's really good in posing. And I called her like, hey, Shani, you're down for a posing academy, like a posing couple to teach women and men? I was like, yeah, why not? And then during the conversation, I thought, man, she's actually pretty nice though. I should tell her. And like, hey, you know what, Shani? I feel quite interested. Like, I like you, you know?
Yeah,
And she said, yeah, same for me. And I was like, okay, wait, before we start working together, we should have a conversation about how we feel. So we met in Frankfurt back then. I picked her up at the train station and I kissed her straight away without saying a word. No hi, no how are you? Like, I
really.
kissed her straight away
Go on, Mike.
because if my heart would explode because I was so nervous, then I knew, okay, there's something real behind.
Yeah,
And my heart was beating like hell. And she felt it, and her heart was beating too, like she was nervous. So there was something. And this day was literally the last day we have not been together.
wow. Okay.
3 months after, I told her, hey, I want to move to Mexico. if that's serious, you have to come with me. And she's like, okay. She
Yeah,
was 24, 25 years old, like years ago.
yeah,
Own first apartment, like working and stuff. So she had 3 jobs living in Hamburg up to the north. And I was like, yeah, maybe, she's not that serious. Just wait and see. And then she sent me a message, hey, babe, I just sold my car. I was like,
it's moving fast.
oh, okay, she's really serious.
Yeah,
She canceled her jobs, said goodbye to friends and mom, and she left. She moved to Mexico with me. And it's not an easy decision. Like,
no, man, it's a big one.
yeah, like, here's my life, take it, but please be careful. But I promise, I gave my word to
Yeah,
death. I said, whatever happens, I will take care of you.
yeah,
I will sleep on streets as long as you're fine. And she's like, okay, deal. And her mom, it's funny. The moment I got introduced to her was like, hey, mom, that's my boyfriend. This is Mike. Hey, how you doing? I will take your daughter to Mexico in 3 months. And after 2, 3 hours, she said, you know what, Shani, I trust Mike. You can leave. Like,
yeah.
have a great life.
Take her.
Yeah, I'm really honest and straight, and I explained what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and that I will take care of her. And this is since the day my biggest goal, to take care and just, yeah, be a good husband.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good, man. How long you been together now? How many years is it?
Married or couple?
Uh, couple.
3 years already.
And how long married?
4th of April, so almost 2 years.
2 years. Any plans for children?
Yes, as soon as possible, but there's an Arnold's Classic coming, there's another Olympia coming, and we don't have a home since 3 years. So we moved to Mexico, canceled everything in Germany. Then we moved to Dubai, then we moved to Spain. We've been to different places like Vegas, Chicago, Saudi Arabia. Oh, so many different places. And
So are you just trying to find like where you want to be located there, or are you just kind of freestyling?
we're freestyling. It's literally like, hey babe, we just had a conversation yesterday. Hey babe, what about Thailand? Like to prep for another show. And she was like, okay, why not? But we haven't decided yet. Maybe we will go back to Spain. Spain is very, very nice, super
Yeah.
nice.
What part of
Marbella,
Spain? Marbella.
Marbella, it's beautiful. Great gyms, great people, great food. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. And
And
it's not that far from my parents. So if I want to see them, hop on a plane, 2 hours, I will be back
yeah,
in Germany.
it's quite close for your family then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in terms of funding all this, is it your business coaching? I know you coach. Is that kind of how you get through things?
What do you mean?
You're a coach, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
in terms of obviously to be moving here, there, and just kind of taking your life up and relocating and putting it somewhere else, it's a lot financially. It's a big risk, but obviously if you're kind of working online as an online coach, I'm guessing that's kind of how you're able to do that, right? I'm just, for the people that are watching and listening, they're probably thinking, how the hell can he just do that with just,
Yeah, but listen, bro. For example, Mexico, we rented a house, 2 stages, pool, own gym, gated community, electricity, AC, everything included, $500 a month, total price.
yeah,
$500 total. We don't have a car because we can't buy a car, so we just renting if we need one,
yeah,
or we just get some bicycles to go from A to B. That's what we did in Mexico.
yeah, okay.
And we had a scooter. That's not quite expensive. We are not really materialistic, so we don't have any expensive clothing, no watches, no shoes. I'm wearing the same pair of shoes since 2 years, like literally the same pair of shoes. I just have one pair of shoes.
You're not a shoe addict, no?
No, I need shoes. They're comfortable and they bring me from A to B. That's
Yeah,
it.
I
I
love
just
that.
need to make sure they are wide enough to spread my toes because that's important. That's healthy. If you're
Okay.
wearing sneakers all the time, like your toes get into like this shape.
Yeah, you don't want to see my toes, bro. I wear Jordans 24/7. They are battered.
Yeah, that's not the best case for the future.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's all I care about. And the most money we spend is food and traveling.
So let me ask you this then. Bodybuilding is very kind of people like their routine, people like their structure, people like to be doing the same thing day in, day out. Well, I say people like to, most people within bodybuilding, if we put a percentage on it, probably 90% of bodybuilders like to do and be based the same place. Whereas you're kind of just jet setting and doing bodybuilding wherever you're located.
If there's a routine, I can
Yeah.
tell you that there is no routine at all.
Okay. That's your
Um,
routine.
the only routine we have is waking up early, going for a walk, whether it's a treadmill or it's outside or it's a rainforest or it's a desert or wherever,
Yeah.
going out for a walk, 20 to 40 minutes. Basically, it's walking towards a grocery store to get something to eat, walking back, having breakfast, hit the gym, and then you like do whatever you want to do. Like sometimes we sit like in cafes and work, or we sit on the beach and work. Like we are workaholics. We love to work. Shani, she's teaching science and sports at the university. So she's like, has a bachelor and like 23, 24 different certificates. She's
Oh,
like,
nice.
bro, top notch.
Yeah.
I have my clients, and imagine talking to people, they appreciate you, they say thank you, you're because you inspire them, you help them, you motivate them.
Yeah.
Imagine how good it feels to be a coach. Every Sunday we get the check-ins from the clients like, hey Mike, you know what? I gained another pound. Hey Mike, you know what? I lost another 2 pounds. Hey Mike, my digestion is so much better. Blah blah blah. Let's do this. Like my life is really, really, really great.
That's cool, man. It
I
sounds rewarding.
Yeah, as long as I don't want to do things, I just don't do them. As long as they're not necessary. So, let's talk about cardio. Nobody really likes doing cardio, but it's necessary to hit the goal you want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
But basically, I would never do something I don't like to do. I don't love to do. As long as you follow your deep voice, what's good for you and what you love to do, you will bring some passion to it and
Yeah.
dedication. And if those things combine together, like the inner driven thing plus passion plus dedication, the logic consequence will be that it will be a good thing one day. Simple.
It's pretty simple, yeah, like you said. And also, if you are waking up in Mexico or waking up in Spain or waking up in Dubai, that's not a bad life, right?
No, sometimes it's really challenging because we moved to Mexico and we had no idea. So we chose a place which is not touristic, so more on the outside. The problem was we had no car, no bike, no motorcycle, nothing. And Mexico outside means you're living in a goddamn jungle. No running water, sometimes no electricity, and there's just spiders, some freaking snakes outside. Yeah, and you cannot drink the water out the sink. So we had no water, we had no food. So like the next grocery store is like 35 minutes by feet, one way. So I grabbed my straps, my grips, walked to the store, and I got these 20-liter big gallons.
All right.
And
I was the straps.
I was walking back.
Yeah.
40 kilos, 35 minutes. I prepped for the Olympia 2022. And it was burning heat outside and the humidity was like crazy. And we had to walk to the gym an hour and an hour back and train 2 hours and do cardio in the morning and at night and posing and cooking and grocery shopping without any car. We had many problems, but here's the thing. As long as you're able to solve the problem, get solutions. And I call it tools.
Yeah.
Solutions are tools. And you create those tools to, even when the problem gets bigger, you already know, okay, I have some tools to work on. Maybe I need to develop here and there, but you know what to do. And I'm looking for problems. Like literally, I want to have a hard time to make sure I have my tools ready when life is knocking on my door.
Yeah, that's fair. How does Neil feel about like this kind of lifestyle you lead? Like,
he told me stop traveling. At least 3 months out from the show, no traveling anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, he's right.
I know he's like an honest guy, and I'm sure I can just imagine him telling you like, just be based somewhere for 3 months, please.
Yeah, just please stay at home for 3 months and focus on the show. And he's right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's only going to make you a better bodybuilder and, well, make the end product better with having that. So where were you located for this prep for the Olympia?
I don't know. Well, now we're in Germany, then we're hopping to Poland, and we're gonna go back to Spain probably in January.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I compete at the Arnold's or not. I hadn't talked to coach yet.
Okay.
Like we're doing it step by step. Now it's post-Olympia, it's recovery. I'm gonna have another blood work end of this week. Then it's like a recheck, see where everything is and what we need to do.
Yeah.
And then we need to decide, okay, is Arnold's a thing we need to think about, or focusing on the Olympia and go all in? We haven't done the decision yet.
Yeah, plenty of time. I mean, you're very close after the show now. When I said about like prep, where were you located? Where were you actually located this year for this year's Olympia?
Spain. And we headed to Vegas 4 weeks out from the show.
Yeah. What did you train at Flex's gym while you were over?
Yeah, sometimes. So I was switching the places basically between Fit Club and Dragon's Lair.
And Dragon's Lair. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you train with Rafa as well? Because obviously the part of the team and stuff, is it?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen him at all.
Really? I thought that would have been like a thing.
Not a single day. I train with many team Y3T athletes.
Yeah.
But Rafa, he might have a totally different schedule.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in the gym. I haven't met him. I haven't talked to him. Like, not a single second.
Have you ever met him?
Yes, like
in the past.
In the past, yeah, but not that close, not as a teammate.
Okay.
But I'm sure that we're gonna meet one day.
Yeah, definitely. While we are talking about teams and coaches and all that stuff, what do you think about all the stuff that's going on in the minute with Matt Jansen and all the guys kind of jumping ship? You got any thoughts on that stuff?
I haven't been following it, to be honest.
No?
No, I try to focus on the things what I can do on Instagram, and this is answering the messages and give
Yeah.
love back. And
You've got
yeah,
200,000 people like messaging you daily, so you're not looking at the
kind of. I
the
saw some
drama.
pictures that they separated from each other, and Matt is not coaching Nick anymore or something. And I don't
Yeah.
know, but that's basically it. I have no information.
I mean, it's just one of those things. Everyone is kind of going at Matt at the minute because Brett left him, 𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘵𝘓𝘭𝘺 left him, obviously Nick's left him as well. So everyone's kind of gunning for Matt, but it seems like it's a bit of a witch hunt a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. One question I did want to ask you, going back to this year's Olympia, what was that, that moment when you kind of got moved next to Chris? What was going through, what thoughts were going through your head at that time where you kind of, you step next to him, you set your feet, you set your legs, you hit that front relaxed or whatever pose you went into? What's going through your mind there, bro?
The emotion you're asking for actually happened a little bit earlier, and it's quite funny, bro. It's quite funny.
Yeah,
The judges, I said this whole thing many times already because it's really funny. The judges told us 2 days before the show, guys, as you step out your box, we're going to send you back in line and you will not get the comparison again. So that means if you get the top 5 comparison and we're going to send you back, that means you will not be compared again in the top 5. So you're going to lose your spot. Right? And everybody agreed. Okay. Then I saw Chris stepping out of his box. I saw Urs stepping out of his box. Like, it doesn't happen. It happens by accident as you turn around and you turn left and right and going back with your feet to do the back pose. Like, it happens, right?
yeah.
But I noticed it, like, okay, these guys are already one step forward. Okay, Mike, stay in line. Listen to the judges. Don't make any mistake. You don't want to send you back in line. And they said, where's Chris and Mike back in line? I was like, oh no, man. I really stepped out the box. Like, I really missed the top 5 comparison.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's really it. And then they said, okay, Mike, Chris, and Urs, go backstage. And I was like, oh, well, that's it. I mean, now we can go back home. Backstage, Chris put his hand on my shoulder. He said, hey, Mike, congratulations, man. You made it top 3. And I was like, what do you mean? Then, like, I understood. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They would never, ever send Chris backstage to be not compared because he is literally the guy you need to compare everybody.
Yeah.
Or he's like maybe the next Mr. Olympia. They will not send him back. So that means actually that it's the possibility is there that it might be top 3.
Yeah.
And then they put me right next to Chris, 1-to-1. But the moment you stay there and you do the poses, you will not remember anything, not a single second. I always try to explain that your mind melts together with your physique, like your physical and mental thing melts together. It's not like, oh yeah, okay, right foot, right quad, left quad, abs, arms. It's like it flows. You know exactly what to do, and like so many things pulling at you, like so many people, the lights, the sound. Obviously, Chris Bumstead right next to you, and he's looking like down to you, like up and down. Okay, what is he doing? Okay, I need to turn this way, and you start to feel okay. It turns into a battle, but it was all like it was a little bit funny to me because I thought they just want to make a show out of it.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, Chris Bumstead, he has company, but everybody knows that he's Chris Bumstead. But then they switched the places again and again. They hold the back pose for 9 seconds.
Oh shit, yeah.
Judges would never do that if they're sure.
Yeah.
It's would literally like 3 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, do another pose. Okay, back in line. Chris winning. Bye. But they let me hold it for 9 seconds because they were not quite safe. And then I got the scorecards 2 days after. And I literally 3 judges had me first place. Bro, how crazy is that? How
What was that feeling like?
no athlete ever got
Yeah.
like a point to Chris Bumstead. And no German ever in history made a top 2 placing at the Olympia. Never, ever. And I didn't notice by myself. Outside people told me. Dennis James called me, said, Mike, you know what you did? I was like, sorry, no. He said, you made history. I was like,
And you didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it. And
Yeah.
like it 3 days ago, somebody told me, hey, Mike, what about your prize money? I forgot about the prize money. I have no idea.
That just shows where your priorities lie.
I want to compete. It's about the Olympia. And as you know, the prize money, you spend more money to compete than you get back. But that's why it's definitely not about the money. And all the people need to know that. Bodybuilding, you don't compete for money. That's not what you do. You compete because you're passionate, you're dedicated, you love to compete, you're competitive, you love the battle. That's what you're looking for, not the money.
Yeah, that comes as a byproduct through other channels, and obviously there's prize money there, isn't it? But the majority of what comes in financially, I guess, is a byproduct of what you do yourself off the back of your brand with your coaching, sponsorships, etc., isn't it? Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. I remember seeing that moment because I was watching it and I missed when they sent you backstage, you three. So then they were just going through the last kind of couple of final call outs of the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the last ones went off, they called you three back out. And like I said at the beginning, obviously filming you like pre-pro card, after your pro card through the UK shows that you've competed in. When I hear them call your name, because I didn't know at this point, but when I hear them call your name with Ers and Chris, I was like, I had goosebumps, man. And I don't even know you. Really, I don't even know you, but I had goosebumps. I was like, fuck, this guy's made it into the top 3. And then second, man, it was incredible moment, bro. It's yeah, well done. Well fucking done, man.
Yeah, just, as I was cutting the movie, I saw all the stuff people were filming and I didn't notice it. Like the moment I came off stage and I saw my wife and my dad and was just running into them and like hugging them. We were staying there for like 3-4 minutes and all people came around, was waiting for taking pictures, but time was frozen. We just like together as a family, like time stopped literally. And I have this scene on my laptop. It's, man, goosebumps. And
when will we be seeing this movie?
oh, I don't know yet. I'm gonna release it on Sunday at the barbecue post Olympia show.
Oh, so they're gonna
Post
have
Olympia party.
like a viewing, just
Yeah,
a
so
private
all
screen.
it's basically Schatz, was heißt hinter den Kulissen? Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes thing. So very deep conversations with my coach, things like interviews with my dad, how he felt, how my wife felt. It's like it's gonna be a great one. Like 1.5 hours, 1 hour 40 minutes total time.
And you've edited that yourself, have you?
Yep. My wife, she's a videographer too. She's a tattoo artist. She's a teacher in university. She's a coach. She runs 5 gyms. She's doing she's a beast. She filmed basically, but I love to cut videos. I love it. Like I'm sitting down on my laptop for like 8 hours. I forget to drink, to eat. Like I love it. And when I was flying back to Germany, I spent like 14 hours straight sitting in the plane, bang, 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 cutting the movie. And now it's almost ready. Just a little bit more color grading, sound adjustments, but I'm basically ready.
How was it to when like obviously that's what I do as a job as well, videographer. So when I'm editing things back that maybe I'm emotionally attached to myself, maybe it's not of me, but of other people that I'm emotionally attached to. I know watching that back, I get quite emotional. Like, have you had a few moments there while you're editing and cutting that up where you're kind of like...
Oh, bro, I was crying. Yesterday I was crying a lot. Like I needed at least 20 minutes As I told you, I came back to the gym where I started training, and people like they waited for me, and I started crying because they were also painting the walls with my face and my body.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I have a private parking now in front of the gym.
Nice.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
things from people, and they woke up 4 a.m. in the morning, cold, ugly Germany, raining, getting ready. They went to the gym, like 20, 30 people, opened the gym 5 a.m. in the morning just to see me competing before I got second place. That's what they do just because they love me. They support me. They are literally my crew.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. That's so loyal. That's like, this is real. And I love that. I really appreciate that. It was really emotional.
Mm.
And when I'm seeing these scenes and going back to Spain, that's where the movie starts, when I prep for the show, and I had really intense days. And my wife, she did some interviews with my training partners, and they were talking so many good things about me. That's quite emotional because exactly, like, it comes from heart.
And I guess you haven't seen those interviews until now, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
My wife hid them from me.
I bet that was hard to watch.
Yeah, especially her own interview and my dad's interview.
Okay.
Because, these two individuals, they know everything about me. Obviously, my dad, he knows me from day one.
Yeah.
And Shani, she's spending every day with me. Like, if I'm doing prep, she's doing prep. Yeah, it's really emotional.
It's a lot, that, bro. Yeah. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to watching that. So Sunday.
Sunday, but I can send you a copy on Dropbox if you want to.
That's all right. I'll watch. Are you going to put it on YouTube?
No, I
No?
guess I don't know what to do. Maybe on YouTube, or like a goodie for fans, or I don't know, a download on my website. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll Dropbox me the link. I'll watch that.
Yeah, sure,
Thank
I
you.
will.
Appreciate that. What is the relationship like between yourself, 𝘗𝘗𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺 and Wesley, those European classic guys? I've spent some time with both 𝘗𝘗𝘰𝘶 and Wesley because I filmed for Nathan, who's obviously sponsored by ESN. So when we've been traveling, I've spent some time with those boys. So how is that relationship with you three guys that are kind of, I guess, three of the biggest names in the division coming from Europe and running things over in America? What's that relationship like with you guys?
I know Wesley for many, many years. As I said, we competed as juniors,
Yeah.
but we're not like friends. We knew each other from like, hey, what's up, man? You competing too? Yeah, hi, I'm a junior too. Like, not that close. But now, I mean, we turned pro, Wesley and me, same day, same show, the Two Bros Pro. He turned pro in classic, I turned pro in bodybuilding.
Right.
So we have some attachments here and there.
Yeah,
And every time we met, we just literally talking at the Olympia that we might hang out sometime. So whether it's Netherlands or Spain or whatever, because he's a great guy. He's a very humble guy. He's a great dad. He's a great athlete. He's very inspirational. He is a great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah.
And with Urs, we are friends since 2019. We trained together with Dennis James. There's a video online. And then we separated after we competed in Mexico. Both of us flew to Mexico to qualify for the Olympia. I won the show. He got second. And he did another show in Chicago where he qualified for the Olympia. And from the moment, I don't know what happened, he blocked me on WhatsApp, on Instagram, everywhere.
Right.
Until this year's Olympia. I was able to meet him at the gym. And there was like, how can I explain? The elephant in the room has not been identified, but there was something in the room. And I saw his wife or his girlfriend actually looking at me like that. Okay. And I felt quite uncomfortable because if she looks at you, you'll get like shaky legs, bro. She has a very evil look. So I decided to go just straight to her. I said, you know what, 𝘗𝘗𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺, if you look at me like that, my legs starting to shake, like in a very like, funny thing. And she started smiling. I was like, you know what? I don't want to feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. And she was like, no, 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 I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And we talked for like 10 minutes, and I realized, okay, she really felt uncomfortable, and I really felt uncomfortable. But there's actually no reason, because there was no fight, there was no argument, nothing. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
we're competing against each other, and
yeah,
but bro, we're on the same page. We're doing the same thing. We're kick
yeah,
ass. Like, there's no reason to fight or have any argument. And then I talked to Urs, because he was in the gym too, and we trained back a little bit together, not really together, but a little bit. So we had some conversations here and there.
yeah.
Then we both realized, like, bro, there's no reason to feel like bad in
No,
any
no.
case. Yeah, we had a conversation, and now he unblocked me again. And I asked him, hey, bro, why did you block me? Because we are actually Team Germany. We should support each other. And that's what I said in one of his videos. And he said, you know what, Mike, honestly, Instagram is, it puts a lot of pressure on me, especially now. He pretty much exploded the last 2 years.
Yeah,
And I know exactly what he's talking about, because I'm now in this situation. So many people talking about you, so many people make predictions, many people talking good or bad, or like stupid stuff. And he just blocked everything around him to make him feel comfortable again.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if that happens to me, because I have a little bit more experience.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I just got a call.
That's all right.
Yeah, I have a little bit more experience, because I'm competing a little longer, but I
Yeah.
can truly understand why he did that.
Yeah, I think sometimes in that situation, it's more of having a conversation prior to any blocking and things getting done, maybe like just keeping you in the loop and saying, I'm feeling this way. I'm just gonna kind of remove you out of my vision just to kind of, that's all it is. It's just a conversation. And sometimes half these problems we hear about in bodybuilding is just a simple conversation, man.
I'm the guy, like, I'm a straight guy. That's why I just straight talk to Alicia, said, hey, you know what? Just a little bit funny to, like, breaking the ice.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, Alicia, you know what, bro? Your evil look makes me shaky.
yeah.
And then it was basically the door opener to have a good conversation with Urs. And
Yeah,
now everything is fine.
that's cool to you. That's really good. I'm gonna have to ask you some questions regarding like bodybuilding, because there's gonna be a few people listening that want to hear like the nitty gritty without going into too much detail about your peak week and things like that. I mean, are you quite open in talking about supplement usage, or you kind of just want to stay away from that stuff at all?
Now I want now in a position where people listen, and I have to make sure that whatever I say, I'm responsible for the outcome.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, there are some things in bodybuilding we should have a conversation about, but I don't think it's the right moment and not the right place to talk about these compounds. But
Yeah.
I can see that we have to educate at some point,
Yeah.
because there's so much, I'm sorry, but there's so much bullshit around, and so many misinformation, because everybody literally today is talking about stuff they don't know about.
Yeah.
And that changed with social media. Just to mention something, it's like the trend twins. What is it on TikTok?
Yeah. The trend.
Man, bro, I'm sorry, but what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't watch that.
Me neither, but imagine, like, all the boys and, like, TikTokers, like 16, 18 years old, they're like, oh yeah, these guys are great. Let's take some trend. I was like, bro, you will kill your freaking organs in your brain, and you will not be happy, bro.
Yeah.
So it has, yeah, we should do some education, but
There's ways of doing it and putting it out there, isn't there? And
yes.
yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. You've got to kind of ask the question. What I will ask then, which isn't really going into that depth, in terms of like the last 5 years that you've been coached by Neil, has the processes in terms of you getting to stage changed much as you've grown as a bodybuilder, as an athlete? Or has it kind of been the similar kind of approaches?
Oh no. Neil had me on TRT for 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Right.
I reached my weight cap. There was no reason to do anything on top of that. And
Right.
it's quite hard as an athlete just to accept, okay, we are right there. There's no more room to grow. There's no more room to develop. It's just waiting until diet starts again. But Neil makes sure your health is on point.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah. Good. That's real good.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
My massage therapist just called. My appointment was actually 10 minutes ago.
Right.
We're talking for like an hour already.
I know it flies, man. But we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Your massage, you know, that therapy is a priority now. We need to keep on
It's
top of
literally
that.
my first therapy since the Olympia.
Then it's definitely what you need. So that's good, man. But I just want to say thank you for your time. I appreciate it massively.
Thank you, bro. It was a great talk. Very easy
Yeah.
to talk to you.
Ah, good. That's good to hear, man. We'll get another one in maybe after the Arnolds if you do it.
Promise.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much. All the best with everything. And just on behalf of myself and obviously the listeners, well done on this year's Olympia. And all the best, man. But thank you guys.
bro.
Thank you guys for watching as well. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe. Check out Mike on Instagram and YouTube. And I'll obviously let you guys know how the movie goes once he sends me the Dropbox link.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry to, he just reminded me that the appointment is right now.
It's world class.
But we're gonna have a talk again. I promise.
That's all good, man. All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.